Two screens, two different views. That's what we're all about. Welcome to Dual Screen Radio, where listening is good.
Okay, we are recording. Hello, folks. This is Shane R. Monroe.
And this is Chris Angel.
And welcome to another edition of Dual Screen Radio, where listening is good. We've got quite a show put together here for you this time around. I guess it's almost a month away now, but not quite. Chris just got back from Disney World, bastard. I wanted to be at Disney World, but anyway, so...
It was fun, but no sign of Disney Medios. I did keep my eyes open.
See, that would have been very cool to get like an exclusive sneak peek, but
yeah,
guess we're going to have to wait for everybody else.
I just saw some classic arcade games down in the lobby, otherwise that was it.
Yeah, anything...
I saw, you know what I saw this time that I didn't see last year, that I noticed? In the cafeteria section of the hotel, amongst the tables, there were two cocktail machines blended in.
Nice.
A Kix Space Invaders combo cocktail and a Miss Pac Galaga 25th anniversary. Or
very cool.
Anniversary, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're classic gaming sluts, too, along with the DS.
But no sign of anything DS. Other than some Disney games at the store, like Narnia and That's So Raven.
What's that?
That's So Raven. That whatever it is. I don't know, some kids thing Disney does.
Well, it shows what I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to forego our editorial commentary this month, and we're just going to give you a nice fat review of the game that's on everybody's lips, the new Super Mario Brothers. We will cover some of our regular stuff, too, along with our big touch and go segment. Tell you a little bit about what's coming out in the next couple of weeks, what's out now and worth your cash. And finally, we'll give you a little update to what we're doing on the website.
Nice.
So, yeah. I think it'll be a nice, tight show this time around.
Lots of stuff to talk about, especially with new Super Mario Brothers. So excited.
Yeah, we got so much crap to talk about. So, why don't we go ahead and get right into the meat, what everybody's waiting to hear about, the new Super Mario Brothers. Now, Chris is a much bigger platform slut than I am, although I do have my loves. And I do love the new Super Mario Brothers, but since Chris is more the platformer guy, I'm going to let him kind of introduce it to you and give you sort of an overview of what the new Super Mario Brothers is all about.
New Super Mario Brothers, in case you haven't heard, is out. It's been long in the running to come out. It's been, how long has it been since it's been first shown? Everybody was just amazed by it. When is it coming out? And it's here. And in case you haven't grabbed it, you might want to just grab it, because I'm just going to come out and say it. It's a fantastic game. And, Shane even loves it. So, as somebody who really wasn't much of a platformer fan as Shane loves it, and you know it's got to be pretty good. It's the first Super Mario Brothers game in this kind of genre, side-scrolling platformer, that we've seen in some time now. Let's see, the last one I can think of was Super Mario Land, or wait a minute, now I'm all mixed up, but it's Yoshi's Island, to put it that way. Yoshi's Island, which, if you can even consider it a Super Mario Bros. Game, came out, I think, around 96 or so. So this is the first true Super Mario-involved side-scroller we've had in about 10 years now. And let me tell you, everybody has been clamoring for not only a new platformer, but a new platformer from Super Mario. It's been a long time coming, and he's here. And he's full of action. There's lots of new little moves he does. He's got his butt stomp, his little butt pounce that actually was really in Yoshi's Island. Yoshi did it himself. He used to stomp on the stumps of wood to open up little passages and whatnot. Well, Mario and this can do it. Also new to this game is another action move that Mario can perform, which is a little side bounce from wall to wall, kind of equivalent to what Metroid does. Samus in Metroid can do. If you've played the Metroid Pinball, when Samus gets to the top little bonus section to retrieve the what did they call those things?
Artifacts.
Yeah, the artifacts. That's it. Shows how much I know about the new Metroid games these days. You do that little side jump, bounce back and forth. You got to time it just as you hit the wall to bounce back and forth. Mario can now do that. I'm a little mixed on that feature. I think it's pretty cool, but I don't know how many times I died trying to pull it off before I really caught on how to use it. Something else that's new is a new power-up. He won't be flying this time around. He doesn't have a cape. He doesn't have a Tanuki raccoon tail, as everybody seems to remember and love from Part 3. But this time he actually can get inside the shell of a Koopa. which means you can kind of bolt through the level in this shell and just blast through everything. It's a lot harder than it looks. There's going to be a lot of easy deaths involved if you're not aiming properly with the when you're maneuvering the shell around the levels. Otherwise, at the meat of this game, it's your typical Super Mario Brothers formula. Now, what's cool about this is the creators, the guys behind this game, the team in Japan had come out at the beginning and said this is going back to basics. This is going to be Super Mario Brothers that you knew and loved back in the day, namely the original Super Mario Brothers. Some of the things have improved, like the moves I've mentioned. The power-ups are more or less the same. You still have the Fire Flower, you still have the Invincibility Star, and you still, of course, have the mushroom that makes you grow and become, hence, Super Mario. Only now, the two other mushrooms have joined. We have the little tiny blue mushroom, which will shrink Mario down, and it actually allows you to go in these little pipes that are frequented throughout some of the levels. You have to be little Mario in order to get to some of these pipes, which usually holds some extra feature or extra exit or a big coin, which is something we're going to talk about later. The other extra you can get is Super Mario, as I like to call him. He takes up half the screen, and you can just plow through everything, basically. His jumping ability is kind of bad, so you're not really going to get too far if you have a lot of high ledges to get to. But for a limited amount of time, similar to the Invincibility Star, you're going to be able to just go through and destroy everything. And what's cool about it is there's a little gauge at the top, so the more damage you do, the more one-ups you're going to get out of it. Other than that, it's basically the same old Super Mario Bros. That we've known and loved. Running, jumping, hitting Koopas. And a couple other little things that have kind of been added in there as kind of a nod to the old game. The first castle, beating Bowser, and little things like I just discovered you got the ultimate, unlimited rather, 99 one-up trick. All these little things have been added to this game to kind of keep the flavor of the old series. People are probably going to be a little put off because there's not a lot of new things going on here. There's some new techniques and tricks that they've tried to do, kind of involving what the DS is capable of. Obviously, the DS is a lot stronger of a system than even the Game Boy Advance was, or the Super Nintendo for that matter. This is kind of a big molded pot of clay that they kind of blended together and took the best attributes of maybe Super Mario World and the original Super Mario, and some elements from Yoshi's Island even, such as the little butt stomp. But a lot of people have been kind of put off because, wait a minute, where are some of the new things? Mario can't fly? What's going on here? But if it goes back to the basics, which is what the original team wanted to do, it really does pull it off well. I mean, you're not really going to get much out of it. It's Super Mario, for crying out loud, So, I mean, that's about what I could say on it. What do you think, Shane? I mean, it's got those little elements that add to it, but you're not
it's
really
pretty much old.
New.
It's old school, and that's, I think, part of the problem is maybe people were expecting Yoshi Island 2, or they were expecting Super Mario Brothers 4. They weren't looking for it.
Hold on. I don't want to get everybody upset. Super Mario Brothers 4 is actually Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So technically, I guess this would be Super Mario 6.
How confusing. So that's one of the reasons why I don't know that much about the old platformers, because it was like 2 over in Japan, 3 over here, 4 over there.
Right.
How freaking confusing is that? Suffice to say, though, I hail from the old school days. I played the original Super Mario Brothers, did not get into Super Mario World 1, 2, 3, or whatever. Didn't get into Yoshi's Island. In fact, my legacy of Mario has been, of course, the original Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, and then most recently Super Princess Peach, which a lot of people wouldn't consider Mario, but it's in the same world. It uses the same techniques, the same kind of style. So actually, the new Super Mario Brothers, to me, is a perfect blend between Super Princess Peach, which a lot of people gave a lot of flack to, but if you listen to one of our earlier shows, you'll understand why we like it, and the original Super Mario Brothers, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I'd played several different games off Mario, such as Super Frog, that stole fizzy lifting drinks from pretty much every other platformer out there, including the ability to fly, do the power-ups, shoot a frog out of your forehead, which is like the eggs in Yoshi. So I'm experienced with platformers with lots of various gameplay, and I didn't really feel like I was missing out on anything. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with how this all works, maybe you've never played a Super Mario Brothers game in your life. Maybe you're one of the newbies that haven't ever played one of the classics. The basic concept here is scattered across, 8 worlds, right?
8 worlds, yeah.
8 worlds.
About, 8 levels per world?
About 8 levels per world, plus unlockables.
There's roughly about 80 levels to this game.
Yeah, and you start off on a 3D-ish style map, and you go to different waypoints, and you enter the waypoint, and that's a level. Inside that level, you complete the level, hoping to find these 3 big coins as you go, and we'll talk about the coins, as Chris mentioned, in a minute. When you finish the level, it may open a passageway to a different waypoint. So you work your way through these waypoints to get to the first castle. Sometimes you can even bypass the first castle. Your path through each one of these worlds depends on where you exit the game, or each level of the game. Some exits are very blatant. Just like the old days, there's a big flagpole, you hop up on the flagpole, you finish the level. Some have hidden exits through warp pipes or off the screen that will take you to hidden things, like cannons that will shoot you over to other parts of the world. So the game is loaded with all of these sort of different paths. I guarantee you that if you and your buddy start playing New Super Mario Brothers, you will not find the same path through the game as the other person, more than likely. You'll be able to compare notes and say, oh, well, you went this direction, I went that direction. How interesting is that?
It's very personable in that respect.
Yeah, it's kind of cool in that respect. Now, the coins come into play in terms of purchasing things. And I know what you're thinking. Well, you can't purchase weapons per se. But what these coins do is buy you entrances into these special little mushroom huts. Red mushroom huts give you a power-up that you can take with you. And we'll talk about how you can take a power-up with you in a minute. Or there are green little huts that you go into, and they give you a series of bonus blocks. And behind one of the blocks is Bowser, and behind the other ones are various extra lives. There's ×3, there's a double multiplier. The idea is that when you go into this hut, you're going to probably leave with some extra lives, and that's a cool thing. They're very generous with the extra lives, which is always a good sign of a good Super Mario game, because you will go through a lot of them.
It's very much like the Super Nintendo Super Mario World. You know, they were very generous with the lives in that game as well, especially where you could go into certain levels and just to kind of accumulate multiple lives over and over and over. Same idea here, more or less. You can do the same idea.
And there are many levels where basically it's a one-for-one trade-off. You know, you'll start a level, you'll get about halfway through, you'll find a one-up mushroom, and then you die. So basically, every time you go through the level, you're getting that life back as long as you pick up that mushroom on the way. Now, as per normal with all of these sort of types of games, each level has insidious hidden goodies, hidden coins, hidden vines. They're actually special blocks that you can hit, and I do believe the original Super Mario Brothers had vines as well, did it not?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so you climb up on these vines, and that takes you up into the clouds, and there may be a big coin up there may be lots of little coins, there may be just a passageway out of the level. So there's all sorts of good little hidden bonuses. Along with that, inside the level, and I'm not sure which Mario Brothers game this started off with, but I believe I've seen it before, is there's this little spinning ring that you can touch, and when you touch it, 8 red coins appear for about, I don't know, what would you say, 15, 20 seconds maybe?
Not even, maybe.
Maybe not even that long.
Probably about 10 seconds. Yeah,
you have 10 seconds to collect those coins.
To grab them all. You've seen that, actually, you can see that in, that's a little something that I've seen in Yoshi's Island. You know,
okay, I knew it was somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them, it's the same idea in a way, in that you hit one of those blocks and you get that do, and you gotta collect the coins real quick before the music ends. It gets faster and faster.
Didn't Princess Peach have that too?
You know what? I can't really remember.
I can't remember either. Too much Super Mario Brothers in my head.
Yeah, that's the problem.
In any event, so you get those, you get those 8 coins, and they give you regular coins. But if you get all 8 of them, they drop you a special power-up. Now, this is where the extra power-up comes into play. Down on your bottom screen, which is really cool, this is actually a decent use for the second screen, you have a progress bar that shows about where you are in the level, which is pretty cool, because that gives you an idea how much farther do I have to go. Somewhere on the level, there's also a checkpoint. Yeah, it's like a little flag, and when you get the flag, if you die and go back into that level, you'll start off at the checkpoint. Now, that's not always a good thing. If you miss the first coin, and the first coin is before the checkpoint, you may have to double back to go get that coin, or exit the game, come back in fresh, and restart that level over again.
Whatever big coins you have
right
before you hit that checkpoint, you will actually have that. It's in your inventory, so that if you go back in, you do not have to recollect them.
And that's a very good point to make. However, they're not actually physically part of your spending coins until you complete the level. They're sort of
right.
You're virtually collected them until you finish the level. Now, the big coin thing is, now, was that on anything else other than Princess Peach? Because Princess Peach had the little mushroom head dudes you had to collect, and that was basically, to me, the same thing as these coins.
Yeah, it's actually very similar to that. You had 3 toads per
per
little sub-level, and in this game you have 3 big coins.
And you don't have to get the coins to finish the level. That's something that we need to impart.
Right.
You don't have to have them.
Right, but it adds that extra strategy to the levels, you know?
And some of those coins, let me tell you about these big coins. Some of these big coins are insidiously hidden.
It's an evil.
Sometimes you can see them. Sometimes you can see the coins, but you can't get to them. Sometimes you don't even see the coins. Sometimes the coins are off the screen somewhere where bad guys come out and you had no idea that it was in there. Crazy, creepy stuff. And I'll tell you what, you may blow through this game in 5 hours, but you're not going to get all the coins in 5 hours.
And not only that, you're not going to open all the levels for sure.
Exactly. Now, these coins do buy you passage into these the mushroom huts, and eventually you're going to want those. Because once you go and go into a mushroom hut, you can pick up a power-up. Now, Mario can keep one power-up in his pocket along with whatever he's currently using. So if right now you are a blue Koopa Shell power-up, you can put a fireball power-up in your pocket. And during the level, while you're playing, you can hit the touchscreen. And, okay, don't call it a gimmick, it works. You can hit the touchscreen, and it drops the weapon onto the screen for you.
This is something you could do also in Super Mario World on this Super Nintendo. It was the same idea. You had a little power up at the top box, except obviously you had nothing to touch, so you would hit the select button and it would drop it down for you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's the same idea, except you're touching the screen, and it plays the same way.
Yeah, and you know they probably could have mapped it to another button, but it's kind of nice because you have a nice big visual indicator of what it is.
Yeah.
You can always look down there and see it.
It's easy to hit.
It's easy to hit. It's not like it's a little tiny button like on NanoStray where it's like, oh, damn it, I didn't hit the button right. I hit the wrong one.
Let me get my stylus out and heat a battle.
Exactly, let me tap that for you. So the big coins come into play in that respect. Now, 2 of the worlds come pretty much locked down, which is 4 and 7. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these 2 levels are locked down, and the only way you can get to them is by completing a level in a specific way. Now, we're not going to ruin it for you and tell you how you have to do it. You can find out. A little internet search will help you out.
Let's just say there's a lot of secrets in this game, and that's one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of secrets in this game.
Lots of little things.
Let's take into account that maybe people have already played at least one of these games. Let's move on to something that might be more interesting for those people, and that is the sort of large things that you see in here. I was very taken back by not only some of the diversity of the levels in terms of water, ice, sand. There's some really cool deformations with the sand. You can actually drop these sandbars down by hitting a switch. Those switches, the first time I saw those little red and blue switches was in Kirby's Canvas Curse, and then we also saw them, I believe, in Princess Peach. Did those predate those games?
Oh yeah. They were in Super. I mean, they were in Super Mario 3. They were in Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
You hit it and you get a reaction on the screen. It's a trigger. A lot of times, it'll react to something that's not even on the screen. So you may have to scroll left or right to actually come across what effect it had. And that's one of the little puzzle elements in there. You don't really know what it did. Now, I know what you're talking about, though. The trigger that kind of contorts the sand and makes it rise so you can maybe reach a higher part of the level there.
Yeah, or fall for that matter. I think in one of the levels, the coin was hidden under the sand, and as soon as the sand dropped down, there was one of the big coins.
Yeah, usually most people will remember these switches as, you'll see some coins on the screen, and when you hit the switch, it'll turn every coin into a block, which means obviously you can jump on those blocks to reach areas that you couldn't normally get to.
Yeah, and that works in this game too. There's levels that have that as well.
Oh, there's one whole part of one of the Haunted Mansion levels where you have to actually hurry because you hit this switch and that's the only way you're getting anywhere. You're on this little platform and there's coins all over you. and you have to hit the switch to turn them into blocks. And if you don't know where you're going and that timer runs out, you're dead.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Those are insidious too, because a lot of times, as soon as you see a coin, you'll go to collect it, right? So you'll jump and you'll collect all these
you're
coins.
Hurting yourself.
And then you realize that when you hit the switch, all those coins you just took are no longer levels or no longer bricks that you can get to where you need to go. And that totally screwed me out of a coin. I had to leave the game and come back in so that I could get that coin, because I didn't realize that I was taking away my own platforms by sucking those coins down.
Especially since a lot of those platforms can lead you to one of the big coins, or even one of the pipes that you can go down to, reach a different part of the level, or even an alternate exit which exists in this game. And the one thing that's really cool is when you go down these warp pipes, in a few instances, the gameplay is normally on the top screen, and obviously the touch screen is on the bottom. But what happens is sometimes, certain circumstances, if you go down these pipes, the action actually reverts to the bottom screen.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you go down a pipe, the screen will pan down, and you'll be on the bottom screen now. It's just really neat. It's a nice little touch. I mean, it's usually just a little room or something where you collect some coins, or one of the big coins, or you collect one of those 10 coin blocks. You got to hit real fast to get the maximum out of. But it pops up once in a while in the game. Nothing real exciting. It's just kind of a neat little touch.
Part of what really makes this game work out for me too, and this is something that I feel that's important to mention. Super Princess Peach was a very classic 2D graphical side scroller, which was cool because we love that sort of thing here. Mario, the new Mario took the 3D and 2D scenario, which means all of the graphics are actually three-dimensional graphics or sprites, but they exist on a two-dimensional plane. Now, this gives us all sorts of opportunities to do cool things, not just like Mode 7 type effects, but, for example, the giant Mario, of course, when you morph yourself into the giant Super Mario. That's something that's really cool because it's not there's a full transformation that happens, and it's really cool. All of the animation is super smooth. There's more,
he's
more frames.
He's a 3D polygon Mario. He's not a sprite like he was in the other games.
Yeah.
Although when he's small, you couldn't even tell. He does look like a nice little smooth moving sprite.
He does. And this gives you some interesting opportunities, or should I say the developers. Some of the water effects are really cool. The sand deformation, of course. There's even an instance where the pipes bend. So if you'd go down a warp pipe, the pipe may bend to a 45-degree angle and shoot you out of it over a hill or something that you need to get past. And that looks really cool. Everything's smooth. Everything has got sort of a facelift. The plants that come out of the warp pipes, they spin out in a cool 3D motion. It's very clean.
Yeah, even when you shoot one of those plants with one of your fireballs, just their little death animations, it is very clean and polished. There's a real sheen to everything. One little thing. There's a lot of little things that you don't really think about, but that you do notice. I've noticed in this game, and that when you're jumping, they have these. I don't know what they're called, but they're like these spinning trampolines. And when you jump on it, Mario kind of goes all crazy and starts screaming and flies through the air. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little spinning things.
He'll go, Yahoo! As he goes flying through the air.
Right.
What's really cool is, I don't know if you noticed, but the whole play field actually pans back. And everything, you're like looking through the camera, and you actually pull back so you can see more of the screen because Mario just kind of took off in the air.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's just a little thing that you wouldn't really think about, but it's obvious the technology is being used there. The 3D capabilities of the DS, but it's very small and very just kind of little nudge, touch here and there.
It's subtle, but it's something that you've come to expect with modern video games.
Right.
If they had actually come together and made an actual full 2D version of Mario, a lot of people might have been kind of pissed because they could have done that on the GBA or another platform. But in this case, they don't overutilize the 3D, especially not to the point to where things start pixelizing like the old Mode 7 stuff used to do.
No, this is 2D.
Everything is
hardcore.
tight.
This is all 2D. I mean, some of the sprites are 3D. And they almost have that. I don't know if you've played the remake of. Not a remake. It's a sequel, but I thought it was a remake. It was almost like a. It kind of threw away a little bit of what it was. The old Donkey Kong game on the Game Boy, the old Game Boy. That was a fantastic little game. And the Game Boy Advance sequel, and there is a DS version coming out, March of the Minis. Mario versus Donkey Kong. The characters in that were kind of like those CGI animated sprites that Rare used in Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Exactly.
And that's kind of like what they almost took the Mario from that in a way, and basically made him completely 3D with polygons. And I think a lot of people have been crying foul at that. I think people really wanted a full 2D Mario. I don't think they cared for the 3D effects. They wanted 2D. I think they figured, well, if this game is going to go back to its roots, the old school way, and it should have been more 2D. But I have to tell you, other than some minor little 3D things, such as Mario getting bigger, as Shane said, this is full-fledged 2D here.
It feels 2D, and that's what's important.
The 3D that is used is very minimal, and it's mostly for some cool little effects and gameplay modes that are so subtle you may not even notice. They're just going to feel like part of the 2D experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Along with that, let me see here. I just want to make sure we cover all the bases. Let me see. So we talked about the graphics. Let's talk about the sound a little bit, because the sound is actually very, very good.
Yeah, the sound quality itself is good. I was actually let down a little bit by the overall music. I thought the music itself could have been a little better for a Mario Brothers game. It doesn't seem to have that same kind of feel that you're going to sit there and hum the theme. Yeah, you hum the theme. None of the songs in this game really had me going there. It felt a little kind of blah. Now the quality itself is really amazing. I mean, the game actually lets you choose between surround and stereo and mono. So the fact that it's got an option for surround sound kind of tells you something right there, especially if you have your headphones on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's really cool, and it's the sound is spatial now too, which is something that I had not experienced in a Mario Brothers game before. If you're killed on the more left side of the screen, you'll hear the death sound coming more out of the left speaker.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And it really adds,
really
it doesn't affect the gameplay, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's like, hey, I noticed that. That's really cool that they took the time to do that.
It makes you feel even more involved in the game, It kind of gives you that I am there kind of feel. But,
and the sound projects so well. The fake surround that comes out of that thing is really good, just, considering how small the speakers are and blah, blah, blah.
It kind of reminds me of that old Q sound technology. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember Q sound.
Yeah.
The old Capcom stuff, right?
Yeah, but I think I don't even know if that wasn't necessarily Capcom, but Capcom used it a lot.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I actually remember from this Star Wars screensaver kit I had with all the sound effects, and it was a big thing that they were recording Q sound.
That's funny.
This was years ago. I mean, this was over 10 years ago, but it was like a kind of a faked stereo, coming from two speakers, but it's trying to give it that fake surround sound stereo that everybody can kind of does, pulls out of their butt nowadays, But at the time, it was pretty amazing. I mean, for a little system like this, a little portable system, the sound quality is really good. Now, the sound itself, as I said, some of the music is kind of blind. The sound effects otherwise are your typical Mario fare. And thank goodness Mario isn't some yapping crazy man like he was in the Game Boy Advance remakes. When they redid Super Mario 2, every time you did something, it was like, yaha, woohoo, yee. It got a little ridiculous and redundant after a while. Yeah,
they took that into account on this one. They keep that to a minimum.
They kind of tuned it down a little bit. I mean, you get some sounds when something actually cool happens. Like if he's flying through the air, which is something that you don't see all the time. But it's not as annoying as it was in the past games.
No, I wasn't annoyed at all.
One thing that really bothered me, going on the sound real quick for one last time, I guess, is they took away the invincibility music when you got the star from the original game.
Really? I thought it was a remix of it. I thought it sounded right to me.
It's the same music from Super Mario 64 when you're flying through the air. When you have that little wing cap, it's like a theme. It's not. I mean, it's a more grandiose theme. It's not some quick like. I thought
that. Man, I swore that I heard that while I was playing, but I probably was just hearing stuff.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not the same. It's not the same original invincibility music. It's not a big deal, but it's.
But it's worth bringing up.
Yes.
You want to be
There's
responsible
a lot of
journalists.
hardcore old school fans out there. They need to know these things.
Well, I think that pretty much covers the main solo experience, right? Did we leave anything out?
No.
We talked about the power-ups.
Really...
We talked about the worlds. Talked about the graphics and the sound.
The power-ups, nothing's really changed other than you have the two different mushrooms, or three different mushrooms. I'm sorry. I mean, and you get the the fireball, fire flower, and you get the turtle shell. That's all there is to it. Like I said, everybody's looking to fly through a level like they did in Super Mario World. That's one thing I never really liked about that game. I mean, if you had that cape, you could just fly right through a whole level without even playing it, which I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, and the people, I think a lot of those types of people that enjoy that are the ones that bitch about the coins and things like that are actually forcing you to explore the level a little bit. For some reason, I don't seem to like that. To me, that's always been part of the Super Mario thing, is to explore, find the secrets.
Yeah.
Where's the one-up mushroom at,
Yeah, everybody's in such a hurry to just rush through a level, and if you want to do that, I urge you to check out the Sonic series.
Yeah, exactly. That'll get you to the level quick.
Yeah, that's what Sonic was about. I mean, I don't know. This is a great game, though, and I saw a lot of people dissing the game. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they wanted out of it. I mean, it's Mario. You like Mario or you don't like Mario. I mean, I think at this point, we kind of already know what to expect from a Mario platformer.
And it worked well.
What's really to add to this genre has been so beaten these days. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's really a lot of the things that have been added in this are kind of just pushing it as it is, but I don't think I think we've tapped what it's capable of.
Well, on that note, let's move off the solo experience and talk about what this offers up for a multiplayer experience. Now, this was pure gravy to me. I was ready to get this game and have no multiplayer experience at all, and simply enjoy it as the solo game. But I was at least delightfully surprised to find two different multiplayer modes, a one-on-one mode, as well as a multiplayer up to 4 players can play, mini game fest. Now, if you've played Super Mario 64 DS, you'll know about the mini games that you got by catching the rabbits. These varied anywhere from very simple arcade-style games to card games to puzzle games. What they've done is they've taken all of those games and thrown in some new ones into a mini game collection that you can play inside of this game. Now, here's the bonus. Almost all the games, can be played as multiplayer, which means you can hook up 2, 3, 4 people and all play these games almost, and I dare say it, almost like Mario Party. No boards involved, of course. Basically, whoever's losing gets to pick the next game. And the games vary from action, puzzle, one-on-one if you're playing with 2 players, as well as table games. And there's roughly 5 or 6 mini games per category. Many of them you'll recognize from Super Mario 64 DS. All your favorites are back from there. And some of the games have been morphed into a double-player experience, such as the one where you would use the stylus to draw the trampoline that Mario would. You'd have to bounce Mario into one of the lighted rooms, the little lighted doorways. Well, now instead of that, it's like a weird version of Pong. You're drawing these trampolines to bounce Mario back over to your opponent and try to get it past him.
Sounds like monkey hockey.
It's very much like monkey hockey, except for you're laden with all the rule set of only being able to draw 3 trampolines, and there's lots of Marios bouncing all over the place. So if you play 2 players, you probably have some 30 games available to play between you. If you play more than that, they take out the one-on-one games, such as that trampoline one, and only focus on the multiplayer games. And I'm telling you, you get 4 people, 3 or 4 people on this thing, it's like playing Mario Party. It's fun. They're quick rounds. They have a star ranking system that lets you move up and down. The winner gets all the points. The loser gets no points. Then everyone in between gets a couple of coins. I'm telling you. In fact, after I played like the first 2 or 3 worlds of Super Mario, my family and I got in on these multiplayer games, and for a good week, that's all we did is we'd sit down and throw down on these stupid multiplayer games.
Nice.
And it's great. I mean, it is almost worth the price of admission just to have what is almost a Mario Party game.
And you know what else? What the icing on the cake is? It's all single card play.
Yes, good point there. Single card play. So you can get 3 of your homies together with you, play single card, and it's not that bad. I mean, the transfer time is reasonable. You're not sitting around waiting the whole time. Good stuff.
And you know what I would like to know actually is the people who have the cards. Can you intermingle with them, kind of like what you did with the Tetris?
You know, I don't remember. I do not believe you can. In this case, it asks you straight up, are you playing with people that have the card, or are you not playing with people?
Yeah.
And people that may have the card, as long as there's one person that doesn't, you have to go into DS download mode, which is kind of a drag. But, you know, we all ended up having to have a copy, so it all turned out well for our household. But, yeah, you can't mix modes as far as I know, which is a very cool feature of Tetris. They get mad props for that. We covered that on another episode.
Then again, that's a small game too.
Small game. It doesn't take a long time, folks.
There's not much going on.
It's not a lot of download transfer time. The other multiplayer mode that we talked about is a one-on-one, Mario versus Luigi. And one of you gets to play Mario, one of you gets to play Luigi, and you play on a wraparound level. In other words, there's no starting and end to the level. It just wraps around itself. And your goal, much like the multiplayer in Super Mario DS 64, is to collect X number of stars before your opponent does. And this is played exactly like the game. All the game elements are still there. You've got all your power-ups. You've got blocks to destroy. The star moves. Every time you pick up a star, it moves somewhere else. You can go and beat the crap out of your opponent and take his star. And overall, it is a very, very fun little sort of a deathmatch version of Mario Brothers. And they did a really good job. Some of the levels are multi-leveled. In other words, you'll have to go to a warp pipe to get to another area of the level. There are plants to deal with. You respawn fairly quickly. Trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. But it's a one-on-one experience. Now, what would have really been cool is if you could have brought like 4 people in on that. Because with 2 people, like a Smash Brothers would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten like Yoshi in there, and maybe a Toad, and just run around. Because with 2 people, it's always you chasing him chasing you. But you can't like gang up. That's part of the fun. Somebody's ahead, you all gang up on them. Unfortunately, that was kind of a missed opportunity. But let me not take away from what it is. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice bonus. And even when you're done playing the game and you've unlocked all the secrets, you can still go back and play some great, like, 4-player Mario Party style minigame fest. My wife, of course, loves the table games. I love the arcade games. And there's tons of different things in here, folks. There's the blackjack. There's a great game that was not that I know of in Super Mario 64 DS, which is a game of Reversir Go, where you plant bombs. You lay bombs on the screen and you capture the bombs. It's a standard game of like Othello.
Yeah.
But it's great because the games change based on how many players there are. So if there's 2 players, the Go grid is a lot smaller than if there's 3 players. And if you put a 4th player on, the grid's even bigger. So it's a very nice, there's lots of little nice nuances that they put in here to make sure that the games stay level. It's great. I mean, the hard work paid off.
What's your favorite minigame, would you say?
My favorite minigame, gosh. I love the snowball fight. That's one of my favorites. Especially when you play with 4 players where you're playing 2-on-2. Cool. I love that one. I'm kind of a slut for some of the card games. You know which one I really like, which is really goofy, is the one where where Boo turns the light out and you have to scratch as many of the ghosts. I love that game.
Yeah, the wife loves that too. She loves the Boo character.
The Boo character's great, and he sticks his tongue out at you if the time runs out. It's freaking great.
The card games are great. It's like they're like advanced versions of Concentration, too.
Yeah, there's a concentration game. There's a blackjack game. There's what we call Indian poker, which is totally politically incorrect now. But you remember when you were a kid, you would both take a card out of the pile and you'd hold it up to your forehead. You couldn't see your card, but you could see everybody else's card. And you would actually, bet checkers or whatever you used, beans, pennies, on what kind of a card you had. Well, they've got it in here. They've got that game in here. And with 4 people, it's great. Because there's actually some strategy involved. You watch, because some people are going to drop out. They're going to fold. The 21 is all the card games. Let me put it this way. All the card games, other than the Indian poker, because I can't remember what the other name of it is, all the games aren't really good gambling games. There's a video poker style one where it's like draw poker, except for you don't bet, fold, call, bet, fold, call. But basically, everybody shows. You draw and everybody shows. And based on the hand that you have, you get that many coins from the opponent. So most of these games are safe for kids that don't understand the concept of anteing up, bet, pass, call, fold, etc.
Oh, yeah, there's really no there's absolutely really no thinking to a lot of these.
Yeah, and 21's simple.
It's not hard. And it tells you right
easy.
off the bat. It tells you, I mean, in one little screen, what we're going to be doing and how it plays. And
yeah, again, like Mario Party does. Before the level starts,
Right.
everybody gets a chance to get briefed. But the Indian poker, again, going back to that, is one of the few games that you actually do get to say, well, I want to bet some more, I want to raise, I want to call, I want to fold. So that's kind of thrown in there. What's funny is it's the most simplistic of the games, but it's also the most complicated wagering system. So I thought that was kind of just an interesting thing to note of the mini games. So as you can suspect here, based on how long we've been ranting about how great this game is, stylus up for me. Not even a hesitation.
For the entire game, not just the mini games, right?
Not just the mini games. The entire package is exactly what I'd hoped for, what I'd wanted.
Yeah.
I can't fault it. I mean, okay, so you can nitpick about the music and
That's my only fault, but that's not even a big issue.
you know what?
I mean,
That's not fair. Let me tell you the one thing that does bother me, and this bothers a lot of other people too, but I understand where they're coming from. The save system. We totally forgot about the save system.
Yeah, the save. I thought actually I was gonna mention it before I bailed out here, but I was gonna bring it up. I remember when you mentioned unlocking the little mushroom huts.
Yeah.
Because that's what's involved in this. And the only way you can save this game. It actually took me a little time to figure out how do I save this game. Normally on a game like this for a portable system, you're thinking, well, I should be able to save it at any time. This is Nintendo; they're usually on the ball with this thing. Well, it turns out the only way you can save this game is when you get to these little. This is one of the two ways. You get to these little mushroom huts. As you complete maybe every 2 or 3 levels, you'll open up a mushroom hut. And in order to open up until you unlock it, you have to have the big coins, as we said. It takes
there you go. There's your
big
key.
Coins. 5 big coins, which means you do have to find these coins, unless you just want to fly through the level, you think you're invincible, and finish it in one piece, one given time.
Yeah.
Now, to open these huts, you got to use 5 coins. After you go through the hut, after you open up the hut, blah, 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 it'll come up and say, would you like to save your game? And of course, you're going to want to hit yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're starting this game completely from the beginning.
Yeah, where you last saved from.
Yeah. When you die, when all your lives are gone, forget it. Bzz, you're going to remake a save file and everything. You're stuck at the beginning of this game. Now, the only other way to save it is when you complete, there's a midway castle and an ending castle to each of the levels. Midway is kind of like the mini boss, mini castle. You beat that, you can save the game. You get to the final castle where Bowser Jr. is hiding out. You beat that, you get to save your game again. Otherwise, you're stuck closing the lid and putting it in sleep mode, which is also kind of cool because when you close it, he'll say Mario. You'll hear Mario's voice. Bye bye. So
yeah, some other game
touch.
did that too. I think Mario and Luigi Partners in Time did that too, which I thought, hey, that's really cool.
Well, see, I don't use the sleep function a whole lot.
Yeah, see, I'm a slut for sleep. I'm so lazy. This is how lazy I've become. Not only do I not want a 6-minute load time before I play my game, I'm so to the point now. This is how lazy I am. Brain Age. You go into Brain Age, you start up Sudoku, you start at the level that you left off on, and you play. That takes all of about 10 seconds. I am so lazy, I will save out of the Sudoku game, go back to the choosing screen, and then put it in sleep mode. Just so I don't have to go through that extra 8 seconds to get in there.
You're too funny.
It is. It's totally funny how dependent on sleep mode you end up getting.
Because in my experience, I think the most I've used sleep mode is when I'm on the crapper.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Let's say you're playing in your chair, you gotta take a poop.
It's always when you're getting your good game going too. You'll get 10 million in Metroid Pinball, and you're just on fire, and it's like, oh man. Oh my God, it's time to go. But I mean, what am I gonna do? Well, you got sleep mode, And
just close the damn lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I end up using it a lot because, like I said, I'm lazy. So so the saving system was the first thing that kind of put me off about the game. But with the sleep mode, you just close the damn lid, come back to it, and finish it when you get a chance. That would probably be my only negative comment in terms that I can think of on the game.
Yeah, it's the save system. Let me help everybody out here. The save system is very much like Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario World on Super Nintendo. You couldn't save at any time. It was more or less every 3 or 4 levels or so.
Yeah.
You had a little point where you could save, or if you unlocked one of those master switches for all the color blocks, you could save there. It's a similar idea. So the game, everybody's crying foul. This game's easy. Well, unless you're just storming through the levels, it's actually not that easy. I mean,
I'm telling you, I don't find the damn game
levels,
easy at all. I don't understand what people are talking about.
There's some levels where I must have chewed through about 15 minutes. I mean, it's funny. There's
least.
A couple of levels where I'll cruise right on through, and I'm talking about later levels. I mean, like level 7. There's a couple of level 7 levels where I've just kind of cruised through. But yeah, I could go back to maybe like level 3 or whatever, and there'll be one killer level in there that'll just nail me for 15 lives. It's very on and off.
It's very insane.
Yeah.
But like I said, fortunately, the game is very generous in terms of lives. I think I've only ended the game through going through all my lives maybe 3 times so far, maybe. And that's just because
I've never done it. And you know what else is? I think
I didn't use the 99 1-up trick either, though.
No, but I just, no, but that is there.
Yeah.
That is available to you. I mean, I honestly knew you could do it, but I didn't do it until I reached like stage 8 because I was just dying out of curiosity to see if I could pull it off, and it does work. That same old, Koopa coming down the steps and then hitting him in a repeated 1-up thing is in this game. So everybody who is a big fan of that, you can cheat to your heart's content. Although the way I look at it, I mean, I think this game was meant to give you unlimited lives to a point. I mean, even without using that trick, I accumulated 47 lives by, the start of stage 3. You know what I mean? Come on, I have yet to see the game over screen in this game. Although I do hear that if you do that, if you go back, you do die, all your little huts are reset. Is that correct?
Dude, I've not paid attention to that.
I think all your huts are
any hut that you haven't already opened, yeah. If you die, then and you go back to the save. Yeah, if you haven't opened a hut since then, or I know what you're saying.
No, because if you go, say I'm on stage 4, okay? Here's the thing. Here's the trick.
Yeah.
Say I'm on stage 4, okay? I mean, obviously, maybe not. I mean, I usually open all my huts, okay? Now, what's cool is because of this whole saving thing, I've actually saved huts, where if I'm in a pinch and I need to save the game and turn the thing off, I'll have that hut that I saved back in stage 3, world 3, that I can say, oh man, I gotta save the game. I need to save, a hut. I'll have a couple that I'll leave. I'm strategizing. I can't even say the word.
Strategizing, yes. That's good, though. That's good. That's a great strategy.
My save games, yes. I've been saving like at least a hut or two because a lot of times I don't need that. That's usually to a power up or some big deal. I'll save them in older worlds so that if I get to like world 7 and I'm like, man, I gotta go, I gotta save this, I can jump back to world 3, pay my 5 coins, save the game, and close the thing.
Yeah.
So. But here's what I'm trying to say anyway, is if you get game over and you start a game back over again, all those little huts will be back where they were, regardless if you used them or not.
I don't think that's true.
Go back to World 1.
I'll go back and check them. I'll find out.
Go back to World 1. I think all your huts are going to be there.
I'll post them. I'll post it back on the forum.
Okay. Well,
I'll let you guys know. I don't have it sitting in front of me.
Well, anyway, let's wrap this up. You gave us your style eye opinion.
Yes. How about you?
Yeah, it's up. I mean, come on. This game's great. I love it. I mean, even if it had a couple flaws, it's still amazing. It's a great little game. A couple little nitpicks. I really do not like the shell power up. I think it's ridiculous.
Really? You don't like that?
No, I'm not a fan of it at all.
I love it.
I'm not liking it. I don't know how many times I die with it, and it has nothing to do with that. I think it's boring. I don't know.
Let me tell you why it works. Maybe this will help you out. Here's the cool part. There's two different things about the shell. And since we bring it up, I know we were going to close this up, but forget it. We're going to talk a little bit more.
Good.
If you start running with the shell on, you'll jump into the shell and you become like a Koopa. You become an upturned Koopa and you have the same powers and privileges that the Koopa has. But if you're just standing there and you push down, you
can hide.
You hide in your shell as an upturned Koopa that's not moving.
Yeah.
You're basically invincible. Now, let me tell you where this thing works out, and it works out well. There are many levels featuring Dry Bones, and Dry Bones pisses me off because you can't take him out.
Especially the big one.
The big ones suck. But the problem is on one of the levels, these Dry Bones just keep coming and coming and coming. And
I know which one you're talking about.
The only thing you can do with the little Dry Bones is to knock them into bones for about 15, 20 seconds. Then they respawn. The big ones, all you can do is bonk them on the head, and that doesn't do anything. if you can warp into your shell, you don't get hit by the things. They just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
You really, really need that from time to time in this game to keep yourself protected. That also works on certain other things like spikes. I believe it works on spikes. I was using it to navigate one of these other worlds that had a bunch of spikes on the castle. I like it. I think it's a nice little add-on. I don't think it was too cheapened. And it doesn't give you too much invincibility because it's not like a star where you're invincible and you can still do stuff. When you're hovered in that shell, you can't go anywhere. You're basically there.
You're pinned to the ground.
You're pinned to the ground.
You got to wait it out more.
So, but you're on the timer and the whole bit, and eventually you've got to leave the shell. So it's really nothing more than just a quick, protective. It's like, you know what it is? It is the force field in Asteroids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
literally in Asteroids Deluxe.
Asteroids Deluxe.
Yeah,
right.
Basically it's a short-term solution to a long-term problem, and no matter what you do, you're gonna it's not gonna save your ass the whole time. But I really enjoy having it. I don't go out of my way to get it, but it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, I hit the power. It's like, oh no, I better not get that because I don't want to trade my flower power for it.
Exactly. I mean,
I'll pick it up.
Flower. The only cool thing about it is it gives you that one extra hit. I mean, when you get hit with it, you turn into you revert back to Super Mario. So you still get that extra hit you can take. My problem is, it's a purely personal opinion. I know people that love it, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think I've only encountered it so many times because I tend to avoid it. I really do.
Interesting.
Half the time, I don't know. I don't even realize I had it because I'll hit the thing and I'll just jump whatever's there and grab it. You know what I mean? Like, before the thing even pops out, I'll grab it and I'm like, damn it, it's the turtle. And, next thing I know, I'm spinning off a ledge somewhere, because I didn't even notice. So, now the other thing that kind of bothered me at first, but now now that I figured it out and gotten it down, is the little jump kick off a wall. It's kind of like what you could do in the Nintendo Ninja Gaiden game, Ninja Gaiden. You can flip off of walls. That's basically what you can do in this too.
Yeah, that's a great time, and there's so you better get used to it. You cannot get through this game and complete it properly unless you learn how to do this.
A lot of the big coins, you have to have this move.
And I'll tell you what, once you learn how to pull that crap off, you look cool.
Plus, it saves you too. I mean, I don't know how many times I've fallen into a chasm, and next thing you know, here's my hat still at the bottom of the screen bouncing around because I'm flipping back and forth. So you can actually save yourself from a chasm if the walls are close enough.
That's exactly right. I was going to just bring that up when you start talking about the wall jump thing. Yeah, you can actually bounce yourself out of a hole if you're close enough to the wall. And I'll tell you, that saved my bacon on more than one occasion. So very cool stuff. Well,
anyway,
okay.
Recommending the game, giving it a stylus up. My favorite mini games are the whack-a-mole, which is really cool.
Whack-a-mole's great. The piles of dead moles is the bomb.
Monty Mole from Super Mario World. And I think he was in Mario 3, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played Mario 3 in so long. But anyway, it's Monty Mole, who actually doesn't make an appearance in the game otherwise, but he's there. And what's funny is, it's funny how you're presented with Mario and Wario, Yoshi, and them at the minigame screen. The other one I like is the one where you got to drag the pink and black bombs to their associated section.
Yeah.
They'll come out of that little room, and you got to drag them back over left and right. That gets really heated up.
Yeah, there's tons of great mini games.
Fantastic.
Do not skip out on experiencing the mini games. Especially bring a friend, bring 2 or 3 if you got them, because you will have a great time.
Well, one thing to close it up, I just think it's really cool because they could have just thrown the game out at you, single player game, and said here it is, and everybody would have chewed it up and gone crazy. It's just really cool that they added these little extras, especially the mini games. Now I don't have to port around Mario 64 anymore because. Some of the mini games that are missing were kind of blah anyway. I mean, look, like that one where Yoshi's pulling the flowers.
Yeah, that's kind of weak.
I couldn't understand that, but whatever.
You know where that game works? 4 players. It doesn't work playing. Yeah, the Love Me Not game, which is actually in here. Yeah. It doesn't work with 2 people. It works great with 4 people.
Do you have to? I mean, that's the other thing. I think we were discussing this, but is there any way to unlock mini games? That's what I'm trying to find.
We haven't found that out yet, but I've got the manual right. Yeah, I've got the stupid guide right here. I need to look through it. Yeah. So look for a follow up. Look for a follow up post from the show and our show feedback on our forums. And
highly recommend it. Styles up.
Stylus up, worth the full
Once
price
again.
too. I'll say if you have to pay $34.95 for it, it's worth it.
Yeah, go for it. There's a lot of value in here, I think.
There's lots of value.
Once you even complete the game, you still have to go back and find every single unlockable.
That's right.
And
so
people
there's
love doing that.
Great stuff. That's what it's all about. Let's move along now that we've managed to blow almost a full hour on Mario, and it's well worth it. That's how good of a game it is. We're willing to spend an hour to talk about it. Coming attractions. Coming up on the 30th of May is Sudoku Mania and Mini RC Rally. The Sudoku Mania is actually part of the budget. What is it? What's the actual?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, this isn't the same one?
It's a different one.
Oh,
This
shows what I know.
No, the one you're thinking of is Sudoku Gridmaster, which comes out June 30th.
Damn
so
it.
you're close.
I was close.
No, yeah, because the Gridmaster, which comes out June 30th, is actually by Hudson, and it's been in an import release for a little while now. It's one of the budget games in Japan. Nintendo's bringing it to America as their touch generation budget brand Sudoku. I think it's going to have about 500. No, wait a minute. Is it
400 puzzles?
Levels?
400 puzzles.
500, yeah, 400 puzzles. So
yeah,
it'll be
400 with lots of tutorials
Now,
and lots of training.
This one here, I've only seen some box shots before. So
yeah, we haven't seen anything on. I knew we knew all about one of them, but not the other one. So
Yeah,
I just got messed up.
I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't know how good it is. If it even incorporates the touch screen. I mean, for all we know, it could be, all D-pad driven, which would suck.
That would suck. I'm very spoiled. I haven't seen even the Gridmaster one that's coming. If it's exactly the same, which it looks like from the screenshots, as the budget import one,
Yeah,
it's still not as good as Brain Age. Brain Ages has got the best Sudoku.
They got it down.
It's they need to just pull that out, make 400 puzzles, and resell it. Because I'd buy it. I'd buy it again because it's brilliant.
See, that's what I was hoping Gridmaster was going to be. I was
Maybe
hoping it was
Sudoku
just going
Mania
to be
will be that
more. Yeah, what's funny is I don't even know who this company is that makes this game.
Is that that's UFO Interactive that's making that, right?
Whoever they are.
Yeah, I don't even know who they are. But anyway.
Did they do Elf Bowling?
Yeah, we'll see. Mini RC Rally looks like a isometric style mini car racing. I've only seen some pictures of it from
like Pro-Am?
E3. Yeah, like Pro RC.
Cool.
Could be cool. I mean, hey, Racing Destruction set like in the old school days was that sort of way, and it kicked major ass. So
hey, if it's anything like there was a PlayStation game, and I'll tell you what, I played a lot of these off the wall PlayStation games that probably a lot of people don't know of, but there was a PlayStation game called RC to Go, which was a really cool little remote control racing game that I don't think anybody's really played, but man, it was fun. I mean, you had that turn on the dime RC, turn radius and everything. It was really a cool little game. I haven't really seen much about this, but if you're saying it's a kind of an isometric view, that's what this sounds like.
This sounds. I mean, if it's
Could be
good,
cool.
I mean,
Could be cool.
I'm down
See
for
what
something
happens.
like that because I'm into that sort of thing. But we'll see what happens.
happens.
On the first, we have Scourge Hive. Do you know anything about Scourge Hive?
Absolutely zero. I still haven't really found a whole lot of information about
Interesting.
it. I think it's because every time I go to look it up, I think it just eludes me because I tend to forget about it. Because
Yeah.
I don't remember if this was originally coming out on June 1st or what. I think it might have been delayed. But
It was delayed a long time.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's also coming out on the regular Game Boy. So it's going to be another one of those kind of, well, it's on Game Boy, but it's also on the DS, and it's the same game, although it's going to have a few features that the DS is capable of.
Right.
We're going to have a little extra screen on the bottom to just entertain you. Something like that. I hope that's
I don't
not
know.
how it
Let's
is,
hope
but
not. We don't need any more of those.
I guarantee by the next episode, I mean, this will be out probably by the next episode, so we'll be. So
We'll let you know.
I'm going to dig up some definitive information on this game.
We got to know.
Yes.
Of course, the next couple of titles are ones that we are definitely waiting for. On the 5th of June comes Big Brain Academy, which is the multiplayer-centric version of Brain Age, pretty much, where it's more of a competitive nature style brain exercise. Very exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And, of course, Chris, you've got to talk about the next one. Magnetica. Boy, it just doesn't have the same draw as Puzzloop, does it?
No.
Too many
As a matter of fact,
syllables.
June
I'm lazy.
5th, coming June 5th finally to America is Puzzloop.
Yes. Under the guise of Magnetica, which
Yes.
somebody at NOA needs to have their butts kicked for that one because they ruined a perfectly good game with a pretty crappy
Nintendo,
name.
if you're hearing this, and I don't know, I mean, from what I understand, we have a few listeners in Redmond, Washington, so I can't be
Yeah.
I can't be positive if any of them are Nintendo employees or not, but I know it's probably not Nintendo America, it's probably Nintendo Japan, but they changed the name to Magnetica, and I don't know why you guys did this. I thought Puzzle Loop was the perfect name for this game. Magnetica makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, at least Puzzle Loop, the game was in a loop, and you were in a puzzle ball.
And the puzzle in there, yeah. There's.
Yep. Anyway, there goes Puzzle Loop coming out for American audience as Magnetica. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have here? I guess, do you want to take the next one? We got, looks like, well, I'll take it. 6606.
Yes, the day that the Omen Damien comes out in theaters. 6606. Very good marketing on that one.
At first I didn't know what that was. I thought it was one of those, like Christian groups or something, putting up some kind of a public message. You know what I mean? And then it dawned on me, oh, wait, the Omen remake's coming out.
Yeah, that's
so
great
anyway,
stuff.
Yeah, this is...
No Omen video game, no Omen DS, I'm afraid. That would be really cool, but no. You could actually scratch 666 with the touch screen.
Yeah, right. Draw pentagrams on your touch screen.
There you go. Hey, see, I totally am down with that.
Lost Magic 666 edition.
No. No, instead we have yet another movie tie-in release of Cars. What is that, Pixar or DreamWorks doing that? I can't remember.
Pixar. You almost made me say
Pixworks.
Yeah, this was like the last, I think, Pixar movie that they were supposed to be doing with Disney involved, but I think that kind of got canceled out when they gave them more money or something. I don't know. But
yeah, no idea on this one. I haven't followed anything about it. I'm not completely interested in the property, so.
No, me either. It doesn't look really that great, personally.
Doesn't look all that great. Now, Hardcore Pool was also coming out on the 6th. And did we decide whether that was the same as the import billiards that we'd seen before, or is this a different one?
You mean Billiards Action that's out in the UK right now?
Yeah, the Sudoku Mania and the Gridmaster, or there's the other ones I always got confused. And then there's a Hardcore Pool, and then there's another pool game. And I'm trying to remember which one was which.
Yeah, I don't really know if this one's going to be Billiards Action or not. I mean, Billiards Action was kind of cool, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to save that for another show.
Yeah, we'll save that for another show. It'll come over here eventually. You lucky UK guys already have it, so. Yeah, anyway. Not a whole lot coming up. It's going to be slow for a month or so, and then we start picking back up steam at the end of June. Have some good summer stuff. And if you remember from last show, if you've been following the E3 stuff, there's at least 100 titles coming out for the DS by the end of the year. And that's just good news for us. So.
Yeah, and some stuff that's out right now is, of course, we have the movie just came out this past Friday. I did see it. It wasn't a horrible train wreck, but I still prefer Part 2. It was X-Men: The Official Game.
Yeah. I took just a brief peek at that, and not saying I'm jumping for joy on that, although many of the reviews that it got were rather not unpleasant, but missed opportunity type reviews, so
I'll just say
maybe we'll
this.
review it another time.
Yeah, I would avoid it. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll avoid that.
Of course, New Super Mario Brothers has been out now for a couple of weeks, starting tomorrow. I can't believe how fast that went. Over the Hedge, which we discussed on our last show, that's out. Top Gun, which we discussed, that's out. So there's really not a lot out right at the moment in terms of huge. New Super Mario Brothers was the biggie, and
that was the biggie.
Of course, in my opinion, Magnetica is going to be a biggie itself, but a lot of people I think are going to overlook that game.
I have a weird feeling too, but maybe because the releases are slow about that time, then maybe we'll be okay.
A little more attraction to the game if not a lot of big hits are coming out around that period. So, of course, I don't know. Sudoku Mania might be pretty decent. We'll see.
It may be. We don't know anything yet, so.
Well, I guess you want to move on to the news segment here.
Yeah, let's go. Touch and go.
Touch and go. Do you want to take the first little story here?
Yeah. I'm not a huge Star Fox fanatic, but after seeing Star Fox running on the DS at E3's videos, I'm kind of looking forward to it, and Star Fox DS has apparently officially received its own title, Star Fox Command. So
yes, isn't it exciting?
For whatever good that'll do.
Unless, hey, I mean, they could have called
cares what they call it?
Right, they could have called it Star Fox. I don't know. Distant Space Shooter or something.
Yeah, Distant Space. Good job. DS. I like that. Get the DS in there. Distant Space. Good job.
Downward Spiral.
Downward Spiral. I like that. That's good.
But, I mean, this is one of the games, that I'm really actually kind of interested in. I was actually playing the old SNES version, and it is really good stuff. It's neat that I never knew this, that a bunch of Amiga guys actually kind of create the technology behind this game.
Yeah,
some of the programs from Amiga. I mean, it's I can't wait to see how it comes off on the DS, especially the multiplayer. If it's got some kind of dogfighting aspect about it, that could be really exciting.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That could be fun.
Well, it looks like our big boy Reggie has got his promotion. He's going to be Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing and Chief Operating Officer. It's a big title there. He's
moving from that position.
Oh, he's moving from executive.
He's moving to President of NOA.
Oh, my God. He's moving to the top cheese then. Okay,
He's the head guy.
Wow.
The big cheese, the head honcho.
He must have did a really good job at the E3 to make them think that.
Yeah, he looked like basically Reggie's kind of cool because he always looks like he's about ready to kick your ass. You watch the E3 video. We have this technology, and then he looks at you and he's like, "I'll kick your ass if you don't buy it." He's an intimidating guy, which is good.
I'll shove the Wiimote up your ass if you don't comply with me.
We will bring you the remote.
Yes.
And then he kind of looks at you. It's like, did you ever see the new guy when you look at the guys and everyone would like back up? Now, somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. That's what I think about Reggie. I like Reggie. He looks like he's got a little passion for the job. So let's see what he can do in the number one Uno position.
Yeah, he's pretty in your face. Let's put it that way.
Now, the next title up here, next news item is Ubisoft, who, of course, is responsible for a cavalcade of not only great games but crappy games as well, has obtained a license to the hit television series Lost. So they are planning to take Lost and put it on pretty much every platform on the planet. I wouldn't even be surprised to see like a cell phone version. So there'll be a big whoring of the Lost property coming up in the next year or so.
I'm actually shocked that EA didn't pick this up or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a natural thing for them, right?
Yeah, EA. Okay, we got the Lost license. Let's shoehorn some kind of game into it.
Yeah, let's take Madden 07 and reskin it and
put
call
it on a
frickin'
beach.
Lost 07.
Put it on the beach, shirts and skins.
Well, they did play golf on the island, so I could see a Tiger Woods tie-in. They'll take the Tiger Woods engine and change that up. Anyway, could be good, could be bad.
Hurley's Lynx.
That would be awesome, dude. I'd play that. That's the sad part.
The thing is, weren't you mentioning already, I mean, that they kind of have a Lost game on the DS and Lost in Blue?
Yeah, Lost in Blue, dude. Literally, you could reskin that and call it Lost. I mean, really. Yeah. You wash up on the shore. You're basically on death's door. It takes you, 2 or 3 of game days to try to get yourself back into good health. You have to survive by going and getting water and catching fish. Dude, I'm serious. It could have been Lost. There's something hidden on the island. You don't know what it is. Come on, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So they could have easily done that. But who cares? I mean, Lost in Blue is a great game. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, we'll probably do a back review on that at some point. My whole family was into that. But, so we'll see what Ubisoft does with the Lost license.
Yeah, not really excited.
I'm not excited about it, but who knows?
I stopped watching season. I watched season 1. That was the end of me. I mean, it was one of those shows.
It's good stuff.
It's just dragging on and on and on. It
well,
wasn't
that's the whole
offering
point.
any answers. And you know what? I got sick of that kind of nonsense during the X-Files, and I wasn't going to be trapped in it again. And I don't know. I can't. See, my problem is I'm not the type of person that's going to rush home and watch something on TV. If it's on at a specific time, I just can't. I don't base my schedule around what's on TV.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like I would miss something and I'd be screwed. So.
Yeah, you can't miss anything on Lost.
Nah.
All right.
And hey, look at this. Europe is finally getting the UK is finally getting a good game here. They're actually getting a release of a game. And a kind of somewhat timely matter. Super Princess Peach.
I don't know about timely, dude. That was out months ago here.
February, yeah. So
yeah, that's a long time. And what's really, really sad about this, I'm glad that you guys got it and everything, but what's really sad is now you've got Super Mario Brothers. And Super Princess Peach before Super Mario Brothers was like a lot better game. I mean, it's not that it's a bad game. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be totally overshadowed by the new Super Mario Brothers, and I think that it's going to lose a lot of the luster that it could have had it been out before Super Mario Brothers. I thought it was like an appetizer.
It's exactly how I put it in my review. If you remember my Princess Peach review from a couple of shows ago, I had said that this is the appetizer, and New Super Mario Brothers was basically the full entree. So, and it is a shame because Super Mario Brothers is kind of a top tier game, where Peach is kind of more, middle ground. It's a good game. It has very good quality. It's very polished and very solid. But, New Super Mario Brothers is just kind of blow it away. In terms of everything. There's just just the mini games alone in New Super Mario Brothers crush Princess Peach's attempt at it. So
yeah,
it's good that it's over there, but it's not going to really get a whole lot of attention, I feel, unfortunately.
That's too bad. Well, Nintendogs, the worldwide sensation that put the DS more or less on the map, is coming out with yet another release of Nintendogs. And, I'm all for the concept of, getting what you want and, starting off with the right breeds, but we might be taking it a little bit far. We have the Dalmatian and Friends pack.
Re-release.
The re-release of Nintendogs. We had the initial three, right? Chihuahua, Labrador, and what was the other one? Dachshund and Friends. So
yes.
We had Friends. The three originally. Then we had the Best Friends edition, which had a few of each of them unlocked to begin with. And now we have the Dalmatian and Friends, which starts with the Dalmatian unlocked and the best of the other releases unlocked first. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Pushing it a little bit now.
We're starting to milk the cow dry here. Okay, I understand that it's popular and you want to keep the ball rolling, but unless you're going to throw us some new dogs, totally new dogs, unless you're going to start throwing some cats or ferrets in there, it's time to just let the property just kind of simmer down now. Do you want me to take this next one? I know you're not a big fan of the property. I don't know anything about it, but I know a couple of shows ago you had mentioned something about if FIFA 07 were to go online, that you would be double dipping that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But in recent light of that, we found out that the Winning 11 Pro Evolution Soccer 2007 from Konami, right?
That's correct, yes.
They are going to be Wi-Fi online.
Yep, that's
so they
really
will
cool.
be the first soccer game to go online. First sports game, I think, right? There's no other sport game that's online yet.
I think that would be the first one.
That'd be the first sport game. So I don't
see
know
how that works out. I'd be willing to give it a shot.
Sure.
On the consoles, I know I'm in the minority, but I never really got drawn into the game. I don't know if it was just too sim-like to me. I really can't pin down what I didn't like. Maybe it's the controls. It's not even the fact that it's got the actual players in FIFA that really drew me to FIFA more than this game, but something about the playing mechanics of this just never did it for me. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but between this and FIFA, I've always been more of a FIFA fan, So I know FIFA on the DS is fantastic. It really is. So I guess we'll see what happens with this. I know some of the early screenshots for Winning 11 on the DS, they kind of don't really impress me. I'm not dying to have it, you know what I mean? So
yeah, but that online component could be the killer, dude.
Exactly.
You want to throw down with Papa, then you're playing Winning 11.
This is the problem, EA. What are the chances they're really going to incorporate, Wi-Fi online?
Not unless they can control the servers and get your email address and.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I hate that
and send you some commercials.
Yeah, really.
I don't know if you they got the. You missed that one item. I don't know if you want to go back.
Oh, how did I miss that? That's the problem with us doing this back and forth thing is one of the time we tend to miss this stuff. For those of you who don't already know, I'm sure all the European folks are already hip to this, but the official release date of the Nintendo DS Lite will be June 23rd, only 22 days after the U.S. release, which is great. Australia will get theirs day after tomorrow. They get theirs on the 3rd. Is it June 1st or May 30th? I don't remember, but it's actually I think it's June 5th or something. Yeah, they get it before we do in Australia.
We get it the 11th. They get it June 5th, and the UK gets it on the 23rd. So.
And as a bonus, the UK bitches, you guys get a black one. We only get the iPod White. You guys get the black DS. And the white DS to choose from. We are stuck with iPod, Look How Dumb I Am White.
Well, it's now iPod I Am Dumb Black as well.
No, now it's Sony PSP Black.
Oh, excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, we got to get this right.
The
Anyway,
black looks cool, but you know what? Once again, same decision I made with my iPod Nano taking the white over the black is, I've just got that whole OCD thing going on. I'd be having to wipe my fingerprints off the thing every 5 seconds. So
yeah, there you go. So
I really would actually rather have blue. I'd still rather have the navy blue at this point. I think
the navy blue
looks
looks
nice.
really good.
Yeah,
but I get to get rid of my
powder puff blue.
My powder puff blue and go to iPod white. I'm not sure that's really a trade up, but
I think the white looks pretty decent. I mean, it has nothing to do with iPods. I don't really care. I mean,
it looks like an iPod though.
I'd rather have the navy blue, but
I don't want to be mistaken for having an iPod.
Well, they did release a white. The old DS, they did release a white one in Japan. It's got the same colors, it seems, as the light. It seems like they're just copying the same colors. I mean, there was even a Powder Puff Blue DS. I mean, well, the teal's more.
The teal, we've got a teal one too.
Yeah, I mean, so come on. I mean, it's a given. There's going to be a white one. So
yeah, to be sure. Anyway, retail price on that will be £99 for our UK blokes over there, which is actually like really expensive considering our exchange rate, which is like 1.8.
That's probably about what $150 or something.
Like $180.
Oh, $180.
So that's kind of pricey, but I don't think the exchange rate affects them as much. So hopefully £99 is a good price.
Well, at least they won't have to keep importing them. At least you're getting it. Period. I mean, I'm shocked that they're getting it in June as it is. I thought it'd be like in December.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, it's silly because Nintendo is really going to be losing money because everybody's going to be importing this thing. And by the time it makes it to the other regions, everybody's going to say, screw it, we already imported it. I mean, look at all the Americans that have imported already that are now not going to take advantage of the actual U.S. release. Unlike me, I mean, I kind of waited, thank goodness, but
yeah, another 12 days, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait.
It's fantastic. Now you can join the ranks, dude. You won't have to be like squinting to see. Okay, moving along. Namco Bandai Games has unveiled out of nowhere a new DS puzzle game called Trion Cube. We don't have a pronunciation just yet. And all we know is that this is a falling blocks game being produced by the folks that made Mr. Driller, Pac Pix, and what was that? Klonoa? Klonoa. I don't even know what that is.
And it's produced by Hideo Yoshizawa.
Good. Look at you. You've been brushing up.
Hideo Yoshizawa. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, I know Hideo because Hideo Kojima, is the guy behind Metal Gear. So I kind of got that
there
one.
There you go.
You could say Hideous. That's what everybody seems to like to do. But
the only thing that we know about the game, there's no media available yet. We only know that it's a falling brick type game, and where you make groupings of similar blocks. Again, sounds original, but
it's
the
blocks or balls.
Blocks or balls. The original part of this apparently is that when you change these, they turn into some kind of coins or something of value. But you don't immediately collect them. You can store them up and do some sort of weird, wild chain reactions to this thing. So instead of saying turning into Pokemon or launching into space, Medios, they're going to turn into coins. Okay. Hey, you know what? Bring on as many puzzle games as you want for the DS.
Single card play, multiplayer, online,
10 people
whatever.
at a time.
I'll take it.
I'm there. Okay, well, I was going to give you my since E3 is over and we only got to talk about half of what we saw at E3 on the last show, I wanted to bring forth my top 5 most look forward to games coming from E3 that I saw. Yoshi's Island 2, which should be pretty much a no-brainer. Mario 3-on-3, that looks like an awesome Mario basketball game. It kind of reminds me of NBA Jam, only with Mario characters. Looks great. The videos look insane. Phantom Hourglass, Zelda Phantom Hourglass, of course, looks like it's going to be a winner.
Interesting. I'm shocked to see that on your list.
Yeah, well, I only could pick 5. I had 7 originally, and I said, no, I got to nail it down to 5. Following that is Clubhouse Games. Dude, I am a slut for party-type games, and Clubhouse Games has like 30 or 40 games in there. Darts, checkers, dominoes, all the crap that you'd go to some old people's clubhouse. And, every time I go to see my grandma, she's always talking about how she goes down to the clubhouse and plays bingo. So every time I think of Clubhouse Games, I think, what is grandma playing down there?
Wait a minute, does this have bingo in it?
It might.
Oh man,
Dude, I play bingo. I'm gay, dude. I play bingo.
Man, bingo. My mother-in-law would be all over DS of that.
Dude,
bingo.
I'm telling you, the video looks incredible.
You know what's funny is you mentioned darts, and I was talking to Shane about this the other night. Imagine a darts game for the Wii. How cool would that be?
That would be the bomb, dude. Actually, like virtually using the controller as a dart.
As a dart? How sweet would that be?
That would be so sweet, dude.
Especially if the accuracy was pinned down, you know?
Oh man, I'm a slut for darts, dude. You could do a scratch type effect. Anyway, let's move along.
Yes.
My fifth, of course, would be Elite Beat Agents. I've been playing a lot of. Help me out here, Chris. Pronounce it for me.
Owenden?
Yeah, Owenden. Thank you. I've been playing a lot of that. In fact, Troy, one of my best friends, came down to visit. He got all into it.
Really?
He got further than I did.
Well, because, it's funny. Early on, you were kind of like dismissing the game.
And
when I first brought it to your attention,
yeah.
when I first brought it to your attention, you were kind of like, I don't know, man. I think because it was Japanese, and I think you kind of like shrugged it off a little bit, but
I did.
And I'll be honest with you, it took me a little time too, but I'll tell you what, I like to give these games a chance, especially these wacky Japanese games. I mean, I'm all about these weird, different, especially they're mostly from Japan. I mean, they got different mentalities over there, like i.e. Cookie Mama. So
yeah, exactly.
It's really cool that you're kind of getting into it, because I really do think it's a cool game. And
it is.
And that's great to hear that Troy.
Troy got totally into it. He got a lot further than I did, and it's insane. It's an insane game, and I'm really looking forward to being able to have a full English version. This is actually a sequel, not a conversion of the original. So
yeah, it's a whole new
cool.
game. I mean, it's almost like if you didn't even know Owenden existed. This would be a totally different game. I mean, even if you have Owenden, you can safely pick this up and have a completely new game.
And that's really cool. And
I think
the
that's
other part
awesome.
is if you play this first, this Elite Beat Agents, once you get the groove of it and you understand how to play, it should be fairly easy to go back to Owenden and pick that up and have a lot better experience with it than trying to figure out, what the hell does this mean? How do I play?
That's the thing. Owenden was actually very easy to pick up. The only Japanese involved was the main screen, and even then it was just more of, single play, multiplayer options. I mean, there really wasn't much even going on that screen.
Yeah.
So, and it was pretty easy to go and pick up. I mean, my brother actually has the import, and he blew right on through the thing, except for the very last, a completely hard level, which I've seen video clips on. Was it YouTube or Google Video? One of them. I mean, it's just pure chaos. There's no way. So, this looks good. I mean, I just hope the music's decent. I hope there's nothing stupid.
Did you hear the music piece? One of the musics for it?
You know what? I've been out of the loop a little bit because of the vacation. I haven't caught the actual music. I did hear that that one song, which is kind of there's a lot of alternative music on here, if I'm not mistaken. There's really nothing like real mainstream.
That could be okay though. I mean,
that's fine with me.
As long as the music's good for the mood. I don't care who it's from.
Do you know some of the bands that they're going to put on there? I do know there's that one band.
They had it was
Stereo. What are they called? Yeah, because there's one called Walkie Talkie Man, which I do know the name of that song.
Yeah,
I have heard that rather. So
yeah, they actually had a clip from E3 of a piece of the music, and to me, it sounded exactly like it fit into the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a problem with it, and I think it's smart them doing a sequel instead of taking the original one and changing the music out.
Yeah,
I think that will give them a little less flack, and that's very smart of them to do that.
Yeah, because the music in Owenden is really cool. I mean, I don't understand any of it, and it's
me neither. But
it's all 100% Japanese, but it just sounds cool.
It sounds good.
And when you're playing, you don't even really need to listen to the lyrics. You just want the music pumping.
You just tap into the beat, dude.
And it's easily the loudest DS game I've ever played.
Oh, it's great, man. I had to tell Troy to turn it down and not wake my wife up. He's like, "Can you turn that down a little bit?" Crap, it's echoing through the house. Oops, did I just say that? Now I'm going to have to go back and edit that. Okay, 23:29 here. Downer. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, we'll be taking clean off the iTunes pretty soon.
No, I'll go and fix that.
All right, well, hey, if you're doing your top five, I might as well do mine.
Yeah, do your top five. I was hoping you'd slip that in there.
It's mainly the same thing. I mean, you kind of pulled a coup on me there. And let's see, Yoshi Island 2. Sorry, I love these kind of games, and I can't wait to see how this works out, especially with the two screens. Mario 3-on-3, which I had actually forgotten about for the longest time. That looks fantastic.
It really does.
So, I mean, online, that's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, Zelda. I love Zelda. Wasn't too keen on Wind Waker. I honestly can't get into the 3D Zelda games. as I've said in the past show, I really could never really get into Ocarina of Time either. But hey, this is on the DS, and it's portable, so I'll give it a shot. It seems like there's a lot of the view, the footage we've seen. The view kind of looks almost like an Animal Crossing kind of view, perspective, which I think is really cool. I was always playing Animal Crossing, saying, it'd be really cool if they made a Zelda game using this engine. I think it would be perfect because it would simulate the original Zelda, but also bring it a little more up to date in terms of graphics.
Yeah.
Another game I'm really looking forward to is, of course, Star Fox DS. I think that's going to be a pretty cool
That
game.
was number 6 on the list, to be honest with you. And I had to take that off because I did want to limit it to 5. So that was one of the 7.
Yeah, and of course, like we just talked about, Elite Beat Agents. I can't wait to get this. This looks like fun.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Maybe I won't cheat. I'll save it for another show. I just realized I hit my 5, so I've had my 5. And
did you hit your 5?
Yeah, that was my 5. Yoshi Island, Mario, Zelda, Elite Beat Agents, and Star Fox DS.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
I just can't count, so forget about that. The first of the DS Lite stuff, the peripheral stuff, has started showing up at GameStop. My homies down there snagged me the first DS man clutch that showed up. It
really does look like a man sack, actually, in this case.
It's totally a man clutch. There's no handle. I mean, there's like a belt clip. So it's a clutch. And you get I got the Mario one. It's a blue bag that says Nintendo DS on it. And it comes with the attached little pull-out. Remember I talked about my old Metroid sack that had the little pull-out lint cloth? It has one of those. And it comes with a skin of Mario, which, of course, is never going to touch my DS. No offense, I'm not a big skin person. I don't want to put something sticky on my DS.
Did you see on EB Games the what is it? It's like a Brain Age skin. It looks horrendous.
No, does it look terrible?
It's just hideous looking.
Oh, well.
Hideous.
Yeah, hideous. But anyway, so it looks like DS Lite peripherals are starting to show up, thank God, because I need another charger. It's been really hard for me. I have one charger in the house, and when I go to work and I take my game to throw down, if I run low, I can't charge the thing. So
no more Pelican battery power for you,
I've got
buddy.
Pelican battery packs coming out my butt, and I can't use any of them on the Lite, and it's very depressing.
I've got Pelican battery anal fissures, and I can't use them.
I'll not lower the shields, Captain. I'm glad that the DS Lite stuff's showing up. The sooner I can get a car charger and another adapter, I'm going to be happy, man.
They need to get this stuff out now.
Let's go now.
Give people a chance to pick that stuff out without blowing all their money at once, So,
all right.
Well, recently, I've discovered a little bit of crappy news here. EB Games is now starting to bundle their DS. I almost said EB Lite.
EB Lite.
Their DS Lites into bundles. You now have to purchase what was one of the games? Brain Age is at least one of them. So you have to purchase Brain Age, the accessory pack. Oh wait, does it come with Brain Age?
It was one game and the accessory pack.
Yeah, it is the game and the accessory. Okay. Yeah, it's the game and the accessory pack. You get this big, crappy accessory pack full of garbage, which you're not even going to use for the most part, or there are things you already own. I mean, who doesn't own a set of headphones? I think one of them probably comes with a set of headphones. At least they used to.
Goofy.
It's just ridiculous. It's just they're trying to get more money out of you. From what I understand, as long as you have your Lite pre-ordered at this point, you're not responsible for any of this extra crap. You're going to get your DS Lite. I pre-ordered mine weeks ago, so. Although
but if you pre-order from now on, you may get tagged with that bundle. You better check and make sure you don't get screwed.
Yeah, it seems to be a little on and off right now. I think it might just be through the website, but you might want to double check everything before you go. We got to
give you guys fair warning.
I mean, these bundles are I think, $199?
It's like $189 is what I saw.
It's ridiculous. You might as well import it for that price.
That's $60. $60 for a $20 game, and a $20 accessory.
And who's to say you don't already have the game? I mean, why would you? It's ridiculous. I mean, come on.
Now, GameStop, my folks, homies down at GameStop, once again informed me that because here's what's funny: EB Games and GameStop are owned by the same people, but they still maintain kind of their separate entities.
Yeah.
And my manager at GameStop said that EB is famous for sliding in bundle packs, and that GameStop was not doing that, and that none of their pre-orders or future pre-orders will require the bundle purchase. So if EB's pissing you off, GameStop's going to have the unit for the same price. Nip over there and pick it up. You'll be good.
Yeah, I think one of our editorials at some point is going to have to be about the businesses of what EB Games and GameStop do.
I think we definitely need to do that.
I know you love GameStop, but I don't really care for either one of these places.
Well, there's no choice. Really.
Well, everybody's selling video games these days.
Sure.
Unless you want to get some off-the-wall title that you're not going to find at every store, like Blades of Blades of Steel 2 or Blades of Thunder.
Yeah, Blades of Steel is a hockey game.
I don't know why I keep calling it Blades of Steel.
Dude, I know it's Blades of Steel for the first month, and then I finally got it out of there.
I know it's the hockey game, and that's the thing.
That's what's funny, dude. Blades of Steel.
But anyway, it's just nuts because I never pre-order games because I don't know how many times I've been burnt by pre-ordering a game. I'll go in there and I'll lay my $5 down, and then I'll go to get the game. I'll say, okay, hey, the game's out. Do I have my pre-order? Oh, we already sold out. We didn't get enough of them in. Blah blah. It's like, okay, so my point of pre-ordering was what?
Yeah.
And the thing is now they have my $5. It makes it hard to go and buy the game somewhere else and then have them have that $5. I know it's only $5, but I'll be darned if I'm getting $5 credit from them because I may not want to shop there.
Yeah, we need to do a full expose on the whole GameStop EB thing, but we'll save that for another show.
Just little things that bother me.
We'll do that next show. That's good. We need to keep our homie hands strong.
But it bothers me. I did pre-order the DS Lite. I want to make sure I get it. And, these guys are going to be the first ones to get it most likely. Other stores I'm going to have to, it'll be like on a Wednesday or something, they'll probably get it or whatever, and I won't be able to get in there to get it.
I'm in a hurry, and that's my problem. GameStop gets the crap
I just want to get it and go.
They get it first. I could wait for Fry's, but Fry's will have it 3 days later. They'll probably have a better price. But, dude, I don't want to wait 3 days. I don't know what the word is for it, but I'm so impatient when it comes to that stuff. I do not want to wait for 3. Plus, we're in the business. We're making a show about the DS and the DS stuff. We can't be 3 days late getting this stuff.
Yeah, we can't be low end on the totem pole.
So we have to get the stuff when it comes out, so... We'll take the $35 in the pooper so that we can give you a good review so you can buy it for $26 at Target.
But the thing is, it's like, I've already given them the $25 that they wanted $50 from me. It's supposed to be $25.
Yeah,
there
that was another
problem.
eBay problem.
Yeah.
Or EB Games problems.
But, this is a GameStop. But the problem is, it's fine and dandy. I'll be still paying the same amount of money. I'll just be paying less of it now when I go in to pick it up. But what bothers me is, say I get there on the day of this release and, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get enough in. They're stuck with my $50, and yet, meanwhile, next door, Circuit C or whatnot, I could have a ton of them sitting out on the desk.
Exactly.
And it'd be like I wouldn't be able to get it because, meanwhile, GameStop's stuck with my $50, which I could tell you I am getting back. So I'm not going to want to buy a DS somewhere else and say, here, I'll just wait, because they'll give me it back in credit, which I don't want.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Bitch.
Anyway, we'll discuss that at a later editorial. So, do you want to take this last segment?
Yeah, I only recently picked up on this one. I know there's been some talk about it, but there's a game coming out called Deep Labyrinth for the DS. And first of all, I'm a dungeon crawler whore. Dungeon Master, what were some of the other early ones, like Bard's Tale? The first person.
Of course, Legacy of the Ancients.
That was more. Yeah, those weren't the first person view stuff. Those were kind of the ultima.
Well, no.
They had a first-person view in the dungeons.
Yeah, right. Once you get in the dungeons, it's still a dungeon crawler. And then, Questron's the same idea.
Yeah. But anyway, so these games, are really.
You get the point.
I love these games. I've always liked these sort of games, and Dungeon Master is kind of the holy grail.
Yeah.
The Atari ST and the Amiga both had excellent versions of this. Anyway, and every time I look at Deep Labyrinth, I think to myself, hey, this could be Dungeon Master for the DS. It's got the standard role-playing, first-person perspective role-playing style. It looks pretty good, and hopefully we'll have more information as time moves on.
You know what I always thought would be really good on the DS, and it's another old one? It was Shadowgate.
Yeah, Shadowgate was kind of the same way, wasn't it? Kind of
There wasn't really a lot of crawling. It was more of a static screen, but there was a lot of where you're clicking and using items. Like if there was a door in front of you and you had a key in your inventory, you'd click on the key and then click on the lock and
gotcha.
That kind of thing. And I think that'd be really cool to have some kind of updated.
I'm telling you, they should
Shadow
go and
game.
license Scum, the
LucasArts.
the LucasArts emulator. They should license that
They're-
and start
they're-
putting out
they're
all
nuts.
these Scum games. Put out like 3-pack. You know, Monkey Island 2, and
Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle. Put that in 1-pack. Sell it to us on
Sam
a
and
DS card.
Max.
Dude, you know how they could milk that for? People would love that.
I mean, Full Throttle. I'd love to play
Full
that.
Throttle. There's so much good stuff that came out of LucasArts in terms of those engine of games.
And then you could have an Indiana Jones pack.
That would be so sweet.
I mean, they're crazy. I mean, you know, it's the
They
same
need to
thing
get
with
busy with that.
the same thing with the Sierra games. All those, Space Quest, King's Quest. Just pop like the first 3 or whatever of each of the series on one of the cartridge. I mean,
I'm telling you, they'd sell
$20,
like mad to us old
sell them for
people,
$20,
man.
and I mean, you could even you got your touchscreen keyboard and everything. You could type in, you could have preset words already in there. You just click on them. Be fantastic.
It'd be great. Well, that kind of wraps up our news segment. The only thing left is to talk. Oh, did you have something else, Chris? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, did you want to discuss the Max Media? Did you want to save that for the next show, or just give a little overview?
Yeah, the Max Media the Max Media launcher is something that we've been getting a lot of inquiries about, and I'm not going to give away the whole kit and caboodle. We're probably going to talk about it on the next show because we're
Yeah,
trying
because
to
I
run
think
long.
we need. Plus, I think we should probably, maybe if we give it a little more time, we'll be able to get some more information too. I mean, maybe by then, we'll have a little more of an idea of how it'll work on the US Lite, DS Lite.
That's really that's the wild card. Right now, the Max Media launcher is a $20 item from Daytel or the Code Junkies that promises to let you boot homebrew from a Game Boy Advance flash unit like a Easy Flash or SuperCard or M3. Those of you who are interested in this sort of thing know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you probably don't understand a single word. I'm probably talking Swahili or something. But the point of this is without damaging your DS, without voiding your warranty or anything like that, you can plug a cartridge into your DS slot and immediately access the information that's on a GBA card. Now, I'm pretty sure that at least in the United States, this card's illegal. I have made several calls to Daytel to find out whether or not they have researched and found out the legalities of the product being in the United States because of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which doesn't allow you to circumvent copy protection. Now, I have not yet got a call back from them.
Oh, really? You don't
Every
say.
time I call them, I get put on hold.
I'm
they
so
say,
shocked.
Have somebody give you a call back, and I never get a call back. So that alone leads me to believe the product's probably illegal in the United States.
A little gray, yeah.
If nothing else, it's definitely gray. Now, we have done some tests here, and it does seem to perform
in Monroe
with
Labs.
in the Monroe laboratories. We've done some tests, and it does appear to work as it promises. However, there are some gotchas, and we're going to tell you all about what works, what doesn't work, and what you may use this product for, the pros, the cons, the whole bit, the sort of thing that you guys aren't paying us to tell you.
Yeah.
Because the show is free.
I know there's been a lot of talk about it in the forums, and I know we were going to maybe bring it up, but I'd really like to get more concrete information. I want to know if this thing's going to work with the USDS Lite. I mean, we
and
know
I do
it
have some more
works.
information about that, actually, but
Yeah.
again, we're going to save that
Yeah,
for
let's
another
save
show.
it when we have more time.
Yeah, we want to dedicate a good piece because this could really open up some doors for folks that want to do their own development on the DS, that want to use some of these homebrews, because there's some amazing homebrew stuff. There's a PDA type piece of software that's out. They've got actually an MSN chat client working on here.
IRC.
IRC. I mean,
text version of
email,
Linux.
I mean, there's that's useful. But anyway, so there are going to be some valid reasons to want to run stuff off a flash card. And so the more we see this sort of thing happening, and the more the DS community, homebrew community gets busy, we want to make sure that we give you how you can do this. As long as we can keep it legal, we don't want Nintendo crapping down our throats, and worse yet, the government saying, hey, you shouldn't be talking about,
But hey, this is being sold by a company that legitimately sells products at every store out there. I mean, they sell the Action Replay, right? I mean, so I don't see how it's illegal to talk about if these guys are getting away with selling it, legally.
But we're the ones who'd get caught. They won't get caught. It'll be us that gets caught. So.
Yeah, well, guess
of
what?
course.
Guess who I'm pointing to?
Yeah, great.
Daytel, hello.
Daytel, hey, these are the guys, man.
But you know what?
They sent it to us. It passed customs.
If anything, even homebrew aside, even if you have a supercard with a secure digital card, you can easily throw some MP3s or whatever on there, you know, and run them. So
why not? I mean, there's some legitimate uses.
Yeah, rip a CD to it.
Of course, all the MP3s are probably illegal. You're playing on it, but whatever.
Oh, hey, I mean, if I rip it from my own collection, who's
That's
to
right.
say?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Put that disclaimer in there. Stuff you got from iTunes. Anyway.
Not
okay,
me.
let's go ahead and finish things off with what's going on the website. Chris has been busy, and me to a lesser extent, adding games and adding information to our site. I think there's almost 200 entries, 190-something entries in our database now for Nintendo DS games.
If you give me a second, while you talk, I will take a look
and
give
take
you an
a look,
exact number.
And we've added some new game lists, like coming soon. You can actually now see when your favorite games are coming out. No more digging through GameStop, no more digging through GameFly.
Nice.
You can hop right on and see our coming games, and we'll tell you by release date, when possible, when your favorite game's going to come out.
214.
Wow, you've been a lot busier than I thought. Last I saw was like 190-something. Incredible. So we've been updating the game art.
I haven't even heard of some of these.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Xiolin Showdown. Where did that one? Winx Club.
Dude, I saw that one on IGN, man.
You've been busy yourself.
Yeah, I added a few things. We've cleaned up the member screen a little bit. We no longer list games that are Wi-Fi available, that will be Wi-Fi compatible but aren't out yet. That should clean the screen up. We've also added the ability to vote right out of your own owned collection. So if you go to your member page now, all of the owned titles that you have show up, and you can quickly vote for all of them right there at one time without having to go digging through screen after screen. Hopefully that will encourage people to vote more and get our top 25 list to be a little more accurate. Also, our forums have a buddy list feature that allow you to add people from the forums onto a buddy list, and you can watch when they go on and offline, sort of like an instant messenger, only not. Anyway, we've taken that buddy list and incorporated it into your members page. So if you're looking to throw down with somebody, you can hop onto your members page, see if any of your friends are online, quickly send them a PM, and then hop into one of our chat rooms and start up a game.
Nice.
So we're trying to get this community thing built for you and get this to where we can connect people to people, because I really think that's where the strength of the DS and its social aspects lie.
Definitely.
And finally, we've had a bunch of questions about this, so I'm going to address it on the show. People want to know why you can't get old episodes on iTunes or through casting, and where you can get the old episodes. I just want to explain how we're doing things right now. Our casting solution partner only allows us to have 100 megs up at a time. That's 3 shows. So once we add a new show, we take one of the old shows off. So at any time, we have the last 3 shows available for casting. Now, on our website, thanks to our generous mirrors, we have 6 shows at any given time online available for download. After the 6th show, in order to keep our mirrors happy and to keep our hosts happy and, to keep things tidy, we remove anything older than 6 shows. Now, how do you get anything older than 6 shows? Well, right now we're kicking around the idea of putting out a disc, a CD or a DVD that has these old shows archived. And I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. I mean, I've done this before with my other show, Retro Gaming Radio, and it seems to work out very well. But we're
very
not
popular.
sure how many. What's that? Good plug?
It's very,
like that?
very pop. No, yeah, I know. It's very popular, though. I mean,
yeah, it's very popular. The discs are hugely popular. And my guess will be is that after probably X number of shows, 20, 30, whatever, we'll probably pick an increment and say every 20 shows we'll put on disc. And maybe we'll sell subscriptions to the discs. I don't know. We haven't got that far yet.
Yeah, so one year would be huge, probably.
Yeah, 1 year. You got to figure that's like 24, up to 24 episodes, maybe more, and that's getting a little unwieldy. We'd like people to be able to get a hold of the archives a little sooner. Part of the problem with the Retro Gaming Radio discs are they come out once a year, so you've got at least 6 shows you can't get to for a year. Every month you have another show you can't get to, and so we would kind of like to come up with something different than that, where we can, I don't know. We're working on it. And suffice to say that if all you do is cast the show, then you're only going to get 3 episodes. Wander over to the website. And this sounds petty, but this is another way we're trying to lure people to get off the iTunes and come over to the site. We've got so much crap to offer on the website.
And especially on the forum. I mean,
the forums have this huge body of people to talk to. There's
so many cool guys on there.
We have professionals in the industry. The Game Doctor, one of the first video game journalists, frequents our forums. So we've got some celebrities. We've got a lot of people from other stuff like Game Life. They've got people that come over. We've got people from Retro Gamer Magazine.
That's funny. We do have Game Life on there now.
Isn't that funny?
That's a riot.
That is a scream. But anyway, so there's a lot
of
more to the show.
UK people on there, a lot of Europeans on there.
Yeah, a lot of UK folks.
Everybody from all over the world's on there. It's fantastic.
It's crazy. We got Mexicans, Flair. We got Mexicans. We've got Europeans. Yeah, Flair's my homie. He think that was funny. Anyway, so there you have it, folks. That's sort of the show schedule, how it works, and we're still trying to put these out every other week or so. Of course, real life is always going to be first priority. We both have families, and so if we slip a week or so, that's why. That's about it for me, Chris. Anything else?
No, that about wraps up for me too. I mean, that's pretty thorough.
Yeah,
Good job.
That's what's going on. Definitely don't miss out on the website. Next show, we're going to have tons more good stuff for you. There's so much news and new crap coming out, being announced. It's incredible. So we've got so much show left to do here.
You know, I mean, I'm thinking, you know, like hopefully, well, I guess we've already kind of reviewed it. I mean, eventually when Magnetica comes out, I'd say we kind of already reviewed that as Puzzle Loop in our past show.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it.
But we'll take a quick little look, see what kind of changes maybe were made. Like you were telling me earlier, I have a feeling as well that probably the GBA connectivity was probably removed due to the fact that I'm not sure if even Polarium Advanced is coming out in America. You know, so
yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll see what happens and let everybody know what the scoop is on that. So stay tuned.
All righty. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Dual Screen Radio. I'm Shane R. Monroe.
And I'm Chris Henschel. And please keep going into the database and reviewing the games because I'm really having a good time keeping an eye on
Chris
that top 25 list.
It's a great
keeping
job.
That top 25 and worst 25 just is very entertaining to me.
It is.
Watching it flux all over.
So. It's great stuff.
Anyway,
remember Dual Screen Radio, 2 views, 2 screens, and listening is good.
Is good.
Take care, folks.
Bye-bye.